Hello there, and welcome to the JobStreet's Quality Connections podcast, where we'll be sharing advice from top employers to help guide you on your job-seeking journey. I'm Anita Wu, and I've had several roles from publishing to broadcasting, and I'm here to find out what exactly these employers are looking for in the people they hire. Today, we're very excited to have Carol Chan from Malayan Flour Mills Berhad on the show with us today, who is General Manager of Group HR. Welcome to the show, Carol.
Thank you, Anita.
So, Carol, let's begin with how you got to where you are in this position. I understand that you've been with MFM for a while now.
Yeah. Perhaps before I sharing my experience, how I end up in MFM, let me share a little bit about what MFM do. Okay. MFM actually is a pioneer in flour industry. We actually incorporated in 1961. Then in 1983, we ventured into poultry value chain, where we involved in breeding, farming, and processing chicken. Do you know that actually Malaysia is the top 3 poultry consumption per capita in the world?
Wow, I did not know that. I mean, I know I love my fried chicken, but I did not know that it was.
Yeah, we are the top 3 in the world for poultry consumption per capita. So every one of us actually eating 50 kilo per capita. Yeah, where else that so therefore you do know we are the top 3, you know. So and also in flour mill, actually in Malaysia, Malaysian are eating about consumption of flour is about 40 kilo per capita. So combine these two is 90 kilo per capita.
Wow.
So flour mill actually are producing flour and chicken. So there's plenty of arts and science in the poultry. So I love it because one of the days that actually we raise chicken at the backyard. Mm-hmm. Now it's more modernized with the Internet of Things, artificial intelligence, and machine learning. So I love that because their combination on arts and science, that combination excites me why I joined this industry. Okay, wow. When I'm been in this company about 8 years. Okay, I would say that I won't view my job as a job. I view it as a calling because I'm passionate about what I'm doing.
Thank you for sharing. It's good to know more and about your company. Yeah. Now, why don't you share with us your journey? How did you start 8 years ago, and what has your progression in the company been like?
I think I still remember when I first joined MFM that being the first experience in food industry, to know what is food industry all about. There's a lot of art and science, like I mentioned it, you know. So and a lot of things to learn because being a HR, you had to know the business in order to support. So I had to know that what is chicken all about. I had to learn from the beginning. Means that what is the grandparent stock, what is parent stock, what is broiler, what is breeder, what is hatchery. So I had to learn all this process. And not only that, we also is a flour milling. I had to know about the wheat. You know, one teeny tiny wheat actually can produce 78 of different type of flour.
Wow.
Yeah. So therefore I said, wow, it's just teeny tiny, you know. So when I do the career talk, I ask most of the students, I say, do you know where is the wheat from? Which state of Malaysia we plant wheat? There's a catch. There's a catch. Because Malaysia don't produce wheat.
Anymore or ever?
Never. We produce paddy. We will not produce wheat. We import wheat from US, Australia, you know, so the Argentina, you know, Malaysia don't plant wheat. So there's a catch. I asked the student, do you know which states we produce wheat? Some people say Kedah, Kelantan. Actually, no, Malaysia didn't produce wheat. We import wheat. So the size of it is one teeny tiny wheat actually can produce different 78 different type of flour. That is wonderful. So you do baking, you have to know the different type of flour giving you different type of results. High protein, medium protein, soft protein. So being a HR, we cannot just doing HR. We have to understand the business. So it's a business-driven HR. You have to understand how the CEO think. What is the business expansion? What kind of people they want it? And not like once the people resign, you start to get replacement. It's gone are the days that is that. You know, you really have to understand the business, work together with leadership team to restructure it, to ensure that actually you support the system as the company for expansion. For Malaysia, regionally, and to do globally.
Can you share with us how it's been? So you've been in HR since day one, is that right? With MFM. Has it been difficult for you to get to where you are now as general manager?
I would say that because I view it as a calling that I'm passionate about, it has not been a difficult journey for me. Okay, and normally what I do when I set my mind on something, I stay focused and I persist in achieving it. So in other words, that I'm prepared to do whatever it takes. So when facing challenges, I tend to bounce back very easily. And I also constantly ask feedback for improvement. And one thing is very important is to get our ego checked as I progress. So and when you climb up the corporate ladder, you have the authority, you have the power. The ego actually is pushed up. So always have to get our ego checked, stay hungry for knowledge, and always stay humble.
Those are wonderful.
There's that actually keep me going because I curious everything that I do. And not only HR, I curious everything, the technologies, the strategies, the customer behaviors, and people thinking, so how to actually join all these components into one. I'm passionate to know all these, everything that I don't know, everyday learning. So I feel that in order to learn, we have to come out with our comfort zone. So the change starts with me. So I had to be curious. When we were young, we would ask ourselves, how come the bird can fly? Why the sky is so blue?
Yeah.
But we grow up, we never ask this question, right? You will not ask. So we have to always actually keep the curiosity in us.
It's so wonderful. Your passion is very contagious. Even I'm piqued, I'm like, wow, how many types of flower? What? We're the third largest nation. It's very contagious. And I think your team is very lucky to have you at the head of it. Yes. Thank you for sharing that, Carol. I'm wondering now that you've described a little bit about what the culture is like, and the systems that you have in place, what does an average day look like for you and your team?
Okay, typical days normally are morning that we have a strategy meeting with the leadership team, talk about the business strategies, what work, what is the outlook, for instance, current pandemics, that how can we actually proactive to actually address it. So from the business angle, so when I understand the business angles, that I have to see that how can we add value from the HR perspective. So after the meeting, normally I will brainstorm with my team to telling that today's strategy meeting is talking about this. So what the intervention from HR that actually can support the business. At the same time, we also brainstorm from new ideas and also check on the progress of the initiative we are actually in the pipeline. So I just want to keep everybody informed in order everybody know that actually what actually we are actually facing it. And thank God that actually for this COVID, we are done it very well. And we do not have casualty, thank God. In terms of positive case, we also contented very minimum. And we constantly actually learning from others, practices from other industry. And in order for us to actually keep the company going.
That's wonderful. It sounds like a very clear start to a day. And so everyone is clear about what they have to do.
The most important thing is must be vulnerable and learn from others. If you feel that we're always on top, you might not able to learn. So we're constantly asking, hey, what are your company doing in order to curb the spread of COVID? What else we do? So and we're good that actually we managed the on-site vaccinations. So we done all almost 100% all our staff being vaccinated. So we actually using PCAS program that actually we have 2 sites for on-site vaccinations. We done it very proactive because our board actually very concerned to actually the well-being of the staff. Not only that, physical, we're also taking care of mental well-being of our staff. We set up a new program called Caring and Connected Program. We actually engage a professional counselor, psychology counselor, to talk to those actually in need. Being, human being a social being, we like interactions. So you try to imagine you work from home months or even year, so mental definitely is challenge.
That's a great initiative.
Yeah, so we tell them there is no shame, So just like you got fever, flu, you take medications. Mental health equally important that you need someone to talk to. We are here to listen. So we actually one step ahead. We actually collaboration with Monash University for this program.
Yes, my alma mater.
Really? They are good. They are good. They are very good.
This is wonderful to hear, especially in this pandemic. I think it has highlighted more than ever. Besides physical health, I do believe that mental health has come to the forefront as well, because a lot of us have been affected in one way or another, or we know people who have been. The nature of how we've worked has completely changed. And kudos to your BOD and to you guys for implementing and really caring about the well-being of your team.
Thank you. It's the teamwork make it happen. So we brainstorm. So we want to do something different. We put ourselves in their shoes that what the employee want the most. It's not the money, actually, the care and someone to listen to, and we go beyond that. We go beyond that.
It's wonderful to hear. Very encouraging. And I hope it inspires more to do more things similarly in other companies. I'm curious, can you share with us maybe a funny story from your past, whether it's with this company or your previous companies, of just maybe a funny story of a rookie mistake and how you came back from that, what you learned from that?
I think the funny story that I can tell is during my onboarding programs, I think I was invited to flour mill last minute. And I thought it's just a day-long meeting with the HOD in the conference room. So pretty obvious that I didn't read the agenda. There's a plant tour, So you try to imagine I had to walking up to the 8th flight of staircase and in a pair of 3-inch heel.
Wow.
Oh, yeah. And I had to stop each and every floor to observe the process. It floor ups, it floor down. So you can imagine the condition of my feet at the end of the visit.
Yeah, I do not envy you.
And then I laugh in pain, seriously, because it's the whole day walking with a pair of 3-inch heel, So you bet. Whenever I go to plant now, I wear a very comfortable footwear now.
Yes. I mean, whether or not it's just going to be an office meeting, it doesn't matter, just in case someone needs to do a full tour.
Exactly. So therefore now I will pay special attention with all the agenda of the meeting.
Yeah.
I don't want to repeat the same. It's very painful. I laugh in pain. I think that my feet actually, all the plaster all over my feet.
All the blisters, I can imagine. Goodness.
Yes.
That's actually one thing that we don't realize. As women, we like to put in a lot of effort into our appearances, and you're thinking, okay, it's another day at the office. Well, personally, I can't remember the last time I wore heels since the pandemic. So I guess we don't need to be worrying about that anytime soon.
Yeah, you bet.
So let's talk about your team and also what you're looking for when you're hiring people for your team. I can imagine it's an ever-expanding team regionally as well. So I'm wondering, what are the qualities that you look for in a candidate when you're hiring?
First, the person must be passionate about their job. They view their job as a calling. It's not a job. Second, the person must have a growth mindset. They're willing, and we said that they're hungry to try new things, and they have a burning desire for success.
Wow.
And last but not least, they must be actually have humble humility and always seeking receptive to the feedback. Because the learning and grow is a key element for us to actually learn more things, to grow better and stronger.
Absolutely. How are you able to gauge these things from a candidate? So, you get the CV and then you have the interview, and sometimes these interviews are now also via Zoom. How do you get a sense of whether someone has these qualities that you're looking for?
Usually when I ask that, what excites you? What you want to do? Actually, from the hobby, from the day-to-day routine job, you can actually gauge that. Are they actually really passionate about what they are applying for? And also, I will ask that actually, how you actually, what books that you read, what is your leisure time that you do? And how you improve yourself, and tell me your blind spot that someone actually told you how you actually rectify your blind spot, and what's your New Year resolution? How frequent that you set, and how frequent that you achieve it.
Wow.
A lot of people do New Year resolutions, and I've never achieved it. It's a determination and resilience that actually make you achieve. So stay focused and humble. So I can see person when they talk, you can gauge whether they are stay humble, they are funny, they enjoy their work. When people like the job, they keep talking and nonstop.
It's true.
Yes.
Yeah, I think those are wonderful tips as well for people to keep in mind, that when coming in for a job, it's not just about the technical skills, which obviously are a requisite, but then also behind the person, what's the person like? And
yes, I think one must be understand their own passion, their personal goal, because you must actually make sure that your personal goal and company vision is aligned. Then you actually work happily. If your personal goal is not clear, you might not be able to bring value to the company.
I'm wondering if there's anything that you would advise against when interviewing for a job. What are the no-nos?
What are the no-nos for them to actually interviewing?
What puts you off when someone comes into an interview?
Okay. First of all, they didn't do enough research on the company. For instance, you come, you know that I'm selling chicken and flour, but you're talking about technology. Oops, in the right place. Perhaps in the right place, but wrong time. We might venture into technology, but not now, And where else actually, when I asked actually what value we can bring to the table, you kind of like, you do not know actually what is your value. Or I asking, what is your personal goal? What you want to achieve in 5 years' time? You couldn't actually answer, means that you yourself not even sure that where direction you want to head. That will put me off.
So these visions need to be quite clear within yourself and to be able to express them clearly as well.
Yeah. So how we measure that? Normally after the interview, we will ask the candidate to go back and write, what are you going to do the first 100 days when you are joining us? Tell us that what you're going to do the first 100 days. And see whether from there that we know that actually your at the same time, you also have to tell us that your life purpose.
Wow.
Then you can see whether you can actually align. But it's very successful. We can measure that. We start putting in, especially graduate. We recruit a lot of graduates. So they might not know that actually what they want. We ask them to actually think about it. Write us that what is your life purpose and what we will do for the first 100 days, and that helps. It's a critical thinking. So they start thinking what they want and which area they want to join and they want to enroll and which area that they think they is passionate about.
Obviously, they'll be answering based on what is true for them at the time, because obviously people evolve and they're meant to evolve, and that could change with time. I'm curious, is honesty important for you during the interview? In the sense of, obviously, honesty is important, but my question is, people knowing, okay, it's Carol that's interviewing me. She wants to know these things. How many of my New Year's resolutions have I actually achieved? What if you found out that it was a lie? What happens then?
Wow. I think when you get the people, 30% actually from the CV, you can get it. 30% actually from the interview for body language. Being a seasoned interviewer, I can catch from body language whether people tell lie, psychology. When you tell lie, you then look at eye contact, you look up and down. All these are body language I can get. Another very important element is reference check. Reference check is very important. We normally will not check a reference check with the friends or colleagues. You want the immediate superiors because they know you better. But to be fair to them, some actually leaving because of the manager. So minimum we have 3 reference check. If let's say 2 out of 3 means negative, then I'll be more cautious.
Right.
But 1 out of 3 saying that negative, normally I can ignore it because maybe sometimes human being, just a husband and wife, sometimes also will quarrel.
Won't get along, yeah.
There's a different way of handling them. So, and I think immediate superior reference check is very.
That's a good tip. Yeah. And so that even for those applying will know, okay, get quality references and get across the scope. Don't just get colleagues, get people who can vouch for you.
Exactly.
Carol, I'm curious. So in your team, say, for example, if someone's coming from quite a different background and they're applying because they like the corporate values and they like the corporate culture and the corporate vision, what do you look for?
I will not say in HR department. I do something different. For instance, that my purchasing departments, before I started in, most of the people actually looking for purchasing departments from finance background, business background, because purchasing, negotiation skill. So I feel that actually the job actually need beyond that. You need very strong analytical skill. You need very strong and critical thinking skill. Mm-hmm. So I recruit 2 engineers.
Wow.
Yeah. And proven that 2 engineers very analytical and very good in critical thinking that we show results. Because purchasing, we purchase commodity that we need to hedge for the future commodity. So engineers are good. So we start actually employing a lot of engineers for different functions, so long that they need analytical skill. Somehow or other, when you study the curriculum, a lot of analytical skills that actually required. So I using different background to do it. Perhaps next time I also recruit engineer to do sales chicken. Yes. And also, and I feel that actually is the most important thing is the skill that we want it. Nowadays, it's gone out the day that actually traditional skill that we require. Critical thinking skill is very, very important. Problem solving skill. And we interview a lot of graduates. We asking them their final year's project. Then we ask that what is the commercial value you can bring. I think 9 out of 10 will answer it. No, I do not have what's the value, commercial value, but that's my professor asked me to do, then I do it. So the critical thinking is not there. So we say whatever things that you do definitely have to bring value to the society. Otherwise, your project will not sell. Everything you do, you have to think that what is the commercial value that I can bring to the table. That's if no commercial value, there's not. Just like pain, you see some of the pain that you can identify the pain, change the pain, become an opportunity. That is wonderful, right? That is critical thinking. You solve the problem of people, you create the opportunity for yourself. That is very wonderful. This automation come about. The thing is repeat, think of the automations. So there is a difference between us and the robot. Yeah. Robot is very nice. They know everything, even prettier than us. But one thing that they do not have emotion. So we have to use emotion to the human being's advantage.
As you said, AI is fast taking over. And so we have to think about what our value addedness is, which can compete.
Yeah, the AI is fantastic. They will not make mistake like us. They know so much things, because our brain only can contain so much. There are so many RAM, so whatever they ask, so just like I have a mini Google, I ask, okay, Google, then I ask him the question, he can answer me all. My goodness. Then I ask some of the funny question that he also can ask. I just like I was curious, okay, Google, are you married? So I'm not programming to marry. I'm not human being. He can answer me that. So wow, intelligent. Even when you're in bad mood, your tone, they can recognize. You say, hello, master, today you are not in good mood. They can recognize that.
It's true. Soon we won't even need friends to talk to or therapists.
Yeah, exactly. So we better catch up. Otherwise, we run out of job. So therefore, what actually do not have is a critical thinking. I feel that problem solving skill and critical thinking, analytical skill, these 3 are the most important thing when you come to any job.
And commercial value.
Yes. Commercial value. You are right. You're absolutely right. Yes.
Thank you so much, Carol. It's been so wonderful chatting with you and gaining some insight into your experience and your advice. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. I love talking to you.
You too.
Thank you.
With that, thank you for listening to the JobStreet Quality Connections podcast. And don't forget to check out our other episodes. While you're at it, download the JobStreet app to find out the easiest and fastest way to search for the most jobs. With that, I'm Anita Wu. See you in the next episode.